Good morning everybody. So we're off to Leeds today to collect a 2024 Model 3 Highland dual motor long range, and we're going up there in our 2021 Model 3 dual motor long range. So what's the difference in real world range and efficiency between the Highland, the refresh, and the 2021 refresh? Of course there's the older pre-2021 Model 3s as well, but we don't have that today. Well, that's what we can probably find out, because we're doing the journey anyway. We're travelling up there to go and collect this car and then drive it back. So we're going to be driving in convoy on the same roads at the same speed at the same time in the same weather conditions, and really that is the only way to get a true measure of comparative efficiency and real world range, because if you do it in different days, different weather, it'll affect how the cars run for efficiency. So that's the kind of plan today, but as a bit of a vlog, and we'll just see what happens really. It's quite a long day. We're going to be doing probably the best part of 500 miles, I should think. It's going to be it's going to be the best part of 500 miles in this car. We're currently driving northbound to go and get it. Consider that, you know, we live on the south coast. In fact, before I even set off for this journey, I had to go over to Poole and back this morning. And I'm currently in our car that we call Miles. We do lots of miles in this car. This car is not even 4 years old and has currently covered 231,550 miles. It's never gone wrong, by the way. Oh, actually, there is one little thing that doesn't work now, isn't there, Tom?
Yep.
There'll be another video on that soon. Nothing too major, but we'll probably have a good clickbait title and picture saying, this car's gone wrong after 231,000 miles. Well, it has. As you see, I'm driving it now. It's perfectly great. So let's see how we get on with this car as well. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a car that's done 231,500 miles. I'm set off without any qualm in the world about doing another 500-mile day in it today. And how does this deal do for what its real world range capability is? This is a great way to demonstrate it. I charged it to 100%, got in the car this morning, cold this morning as well, and it showed a range of 308 miles at 100% state of charge. So still over 300 miles capable in theory, but what will it actually do? Well, we're going to find that out. We're going to see how 2024 Highland compares, and we'll see what happens. We don't really know yet. That's why we pick up the camera and kind of see what happens. So I'm Richard, that there's Tom, this is our SEV, and this is another 500-mile day on the road. Okay, so I've been driving for a bit already. Like I say, I had to go to Poole already this morning, but we're currently just north of Winchester on the A34. And if I just put Leeds into the Tesla nav, of course it plans all my routing for me. It's brilliant. I'm on autopilot, which resisted changing lanes there for some reason. Re-engage. Okay. Enhanced autopilot, but it's still flawed. We're waiting for some good updates. Come on, let's get the updates in the UK. So, just watching this, lane change there on autopilot, fairly smooth, cars slowing up ahead. Anyway, my point here was we have a long day ahead of us. So what I've put in is Leeds for the destination, and the car's saying stop at Oxford. Now, Tesla charging planning is always very good. I'm just going to sit behind this caravan whilst I talk to you about this. The route plan is always very good, but it's still possible to do a lot better. If I bring up the superchargers on this map, you can see all these red dots on all the chargers, and there's loads of them around the UK. But the car's suggesting to stop at Oxford, but that's far too soon. I don't think that's necessary at all. So I'm going to just remove that altogether. So I can go to remove all charging stops. I don't think that's necessary, and let's see what it's got if we just didn't charge and just went to Leeds. Considering that I've already been using this car this morning, I've already done over 80 miles and I'm down to 65% of the battery. So that's minus 11%, so I've got enough charge to go most of the way. Again, at any time I can just say add the charging stop and go where you wish. But what we're going to do is just kind of wait and see really, just wait and see when we're hungry or need a toilet, and then we'll stop, because there's loads of chargers always. So the point here really is the Tesla route planning is brilliant and excellent, works brilliantly well. You never have to stress about it, but you can, once you get used to your car, you can actually do it better. So don't always just take it for granted. Don't always just go, okay, I'll take that. Maybe choose another charger instead. Maybe just see how you go and think, you know what, I'm starting to get hungry. Let's just stop at the next chargers that are on the route, because there's always plenty around. In fact, there's 2,000 stalls in the UK now. Might even plan a little trip to go and visit most of them in a little road trip in November. Watch this space. Might happen, might not, but might happen. How long do you think it would take to go around all the charges in England? Not necessarily UK, but England. How long would it take? I reckon I could do that in 3 days. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And I might take that challenge on. Maybe we can do something, raise some money for charity. We'll see. Okay, a fair stint there. We've now pulled up to some new services in Rotherham. I've never been here before, but we've pushed on all the way. So let's have a look. This car is now on 2%. We've gone right to the end. Obviously, we didn't do what the car suggested, which was charge at Oxford. They didn't want to go Warwickshire. We just carried on. So since I charged it up, 259 watt hours per mile. Now, the efficiency wasn't so good on this journey as we would normally get. I'd be expecting about 225, something like that. And to get here with a little bit more, 2% is obviously fine. And what we're going to do now is plug it in. It's 152, so let's see what charge we add purely in the time it takes us to go into the services right there, get some food, have a wee and all that, and then come back and we'll see how much charge we add in that time without messing around. So we've just plugged it in and it's ramping up 231 after 231,733 miles. Can it still charge at a good speed? Well, it went to 231. It was preconditioning, which affected the efficiency, but it was still running about just over 230 efficiency. And there we go, 215. So still charging over 200 kilowatts. That's not bad. Right, that's all good. We'll just charge as long as we need whilst we're having some food, which I don't think we need to go to 100%, but we'll see what happens. Another healthy lunch on the road. What we got then? So it's 2:14 p.m. What was it? 154, I think, when we plugged in, wasn't it? And we've now got 60%, which the car shows as 185 miles. So let's call it 180 miles added in the time it took to scoff a KFC. And that was as quick as we could order and eat it, wasn't it? We haven't messed around. So, right, well, let's unplug and carry on, because I think the car we're collecting will probably need a charge. So in reality, we'll probably end up back here in about an hour, topping up the other one to get back. Let's find out. Okay, so we are now at Rotherham Services again, back 4:20 in the afternoon, charging both of these cars to 90%. So I've just unplugged that one and this is a couple of minutes behind. This one had 5% less battery when we plugged in, and actually it seemed to catch up a little bit, but when that reached 90%, this was about 2% behind. So, and it's now 1% behind. Oh, hang on a minute. Now it's 90%, there we go. So, unplug that as well. They're both finished charging at 90% within a couple of minutes of each other. So what that goes to show is that one still charges fast. This one caught up a little bit by 2%, going from about 30-something% up to 90%. So it still charges quickly. Now what we can do from here, we're both at 90%, both got warm batteries, driving at the same speed at the same time. Let's see what the difference is with efficiency and how much battery they use to do that journey. Now, the old cars, obviously, a couple of disadvantages here, which I didn't really think about beforehand. We're doing this journey anyway today, it wasn't like a planned thing. No Aero Covers, whoops. All-season tyres, a bit less efficient probably, and 231,000 miles compared to 11,000 miles on a newer car. So will that make much difference? Is this still a good viable car? Well, we think it is. We've already done 300 miles in this today, and we've still got a couple hundred miles to go back. So anyway, we're going to get on with this journey. It's probably going to be dark when we get back. So what we'll probably do is grab a screenshot of the trip and then film the summary tomorrow morning, talking about the efficiency differences, the real world range differences, and we can work out some costings for the trip today with our car miles here, you know, how much that would cost if you were to do 500 miles a day or this kind of trip in a Tesla Model 3. But for now, let's just hit the road. Driving back 70 miles an hour. We're not going to mess around trying to hide my light. It's 4:20. I want to get back for this evening. So it's 200 miles away. We're at Rotherham and we live on the south coast. So let's go. And I'll catch you in the morning. Okay, it's the next day, lunchtime, and I've got some numbers for you to compare. And I know the comparison's a little bit odd in that it's got different tyres and doesn't have the wheel covers, but interesting nonetheless. It was a journey we just had to do anyway. That's what we use this car for, travelling around, collecting other things. And so let's get the comparison. We do have actually now a long-range rear-wheel drive Highland, so we'll film a comparison between a long-range rear-wheel drive and a dual motor another day and see the difference there. I like the rear-wheel drives and they're even more efficient, but let's focus first on this car miles. Now this car finished that day on 232,000 miles in total on the clock. It's not even 4 years old yet, so he does well, doesn't he, miles? Now I've got a sheet here of all my numbers on it. Now yesterday alone we did 558 miles. He's been on the road again this morning, by the way, charged whilst I was sleeping last night, been on the road, but anyway, yesterday alone 558 miles added to the clock. 130 kilowatt hours used, and he averaged 233.7 miles per kilowatt hour, sorry, watt hours per mile, which works out to 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Not bad really, actually not too bad at all. I think the Aero Covers would have improved that. I'm quite convinced that now. It's the first long journey I've done without them, and it only makes a little difference, but you know, every little bit sometimes helps. Very easy to do that journey with. The total cost for that, by the way, I have added up, so let's do that before we do the comparison. We charged just before Leeds and then just after Leeds back up to 90% for the comparison video. Those two charging sessions plus recharging to 100% at home last night, which I didn't because I didn't need 100% today, but you know, if I'm going to take that into account, 100%, well, that would total £36, £4.30 at home plus £32.37. So pretty cheap. I know there's somebody with a Passat diesel saying I'd have done it for £4 or something, but there we go. Right, how did the two cars compare then? Does this car with 232,000 miles a clock compare to this? Is the Highland really much more efficient? Yes, yeah, the Highland is just fantastic. And although we fitted Highland suspension to this car to make it more comfortable, as soon as you get in a Highland and drive it, it is still even smoother, it's refined, they're just great cars. They're really good, such great value on the used market now. Anyway, what did this do? So, on that journey back, this car did 228.2 miles and used just 65% of its battery to do that. It got back with 25%. Miles, on the other hand, was a bit thirstier. He did one extra mile because Tom went into another services. We both had to stop on the way back for a toilet break, and then Tom stopped just before we got back for dinner, whereas I went home for dinner. But this used 81% of its battery for its journey, prorated out. This could still do 285 miles, but this could do 351 miles. So there was quite a big difference there in the end. A fresher car, it's a more efficient car, you know, younger battery and all that kind of stuff. We haven't tested this battery recently, but at 215k, it was at 89%. So we'll test this again soon. That'll be in another video. So you want to see more of this in another video, retesting the battery, stay subscribed, and that will come up soon. So incredibly, this car, driven in those conditions yesterday, quite a lot of traffic coming back, rush hour, but capable of 351 miles of range. And if it was a rear-wheel drive only version, that would probably be about 400. So incredible, but we will test that another day as well. So I found this quite interesting actually. Whereas this did 224 watt hours per mile on the way back, 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, pretty respectable. This did just 204 watt hours per mile, 5 miles per kilowatt hour. Very, very decent indeed. Okay, so what does that mean for cost difference? So this car used 52 kilowatt hours of energy for that journey, according to its computer, whereas the Highland, better efficiency, used just 46.6 kilowatt hours of energy. So the older car used 5.4 kilowatt hours of energy more. What does that mean for cost? Well, charging at home overnight, that meant an extra 38 pence for the older car. Not bad, is it? Lack of efficiency, no aeros, older car, 232,000 miles. It costs an extra 38 pence compared to this newer Highland. Still not bad, is it? So, there we go. A slightly odd comparison, but I think an interesting one. It's always fascinating when you run cars side by side, because it's the best way to get the true comparison. And apart from the last 5 miles, we were basically in convoy with that. So, yeah, very interesting indeed. The Highland, fantastic, good value in the used car market now. But we love miles, you know, 232k on the clock, still going strong. Be back on the road again tomorrow. So that's it from us for this video, but there'll be more coming soon. So make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you on the next one next time. Thank you.